Dear students, in our today's class we are going to continue about the features of database system. The features can also be called as advantages. In our previous class we have discussed three features and rest of the features we are going to discuss today. The fourth one is the database security. Security means giving proper security, proper protection for the database. That is, DBMS provides a variety of security mechanisms. There are many types of security mechanisms for the user to protect his or her data stored in the database. DBMS can make a variety of security options to protect the data which is stored in the database. And this support concurrent access. Concurrent access means DBMS support concurrent access to the same data stored in the database. The data which is stored in the database, for that data DBMS will give the concurrent access, okay, by applying, okay. Now what is meant by concurrent access? By applying logging and timestamp mechanism, logging systems for the data. And timestamp means if you give some timings, on this date, on this time your data needs to be logged, that is called timestamp. And at this time, on this date, your data needs to be unlocked, that is called timestamp. This facility is also available. The ease of application. Ease of application means the application program. It means a person who will develop the programs, database programs, he can able to need to develop the application programs according to the user's needs. How the user wants, based on that thing, the application programmer needs to develop the database software. Banks need some different type, so according to bank requirement, he has to develop the software. Okay, if some industry needs a software based on the industry's requirement, he need to develop the software. If a school or college needs a software based on the requirement of school and college, he need to develop this software. The next feature, the advantages is multiple user interface. Here, multiple user interface means many users. That means many applications can run simultaneously at the same time. And many users can use the system at the same time in order to meet the needs of various users. Okay, many users are there. In order to cover, in order to make the needs of many users having different technical knowledge. The users are having different technical knowledge to recover that. To meet the needs of these different technical knowledge of different persons, DBMS provides different types of interfaces, okay, such as query languages, that is SQL, okay, structured query languages, application program interfaces, okay, application program interfaces means just like your Microsoft Excel, and then the geographical user interfaces, that is GUI. We can call it as GUI, geographical user interfaces. And of that includes form style. Form style is total graphical representation. Okay, and menu driven interfaces. Okay, menu driven means I have told in the last class, if you click on the file option, it will give you a drop down menu which includes open, save as, print, edit, print, and so on. So that is called drop down or menu driven interfaces. Here GUI means it is a graphical interface, not geographical. It is a graphical user interface. There are two types, one is CUI and one more is GUI. CUI means character user interface. graphical user interface. Come to next, backup and recovery. The RDBMS means Relational Database Management System. Remember this abbreviation RDBMS. For this abbreviation, you need to expand it as Relational Database Management System. Write down somewhere. You may get question. You can write it as Relational Database Management System. Provides backup and recovery. Backup and recovery means just like your WhatsApp. Okay, if you have done some messages in one cell phone, okay, in a cell phone, after few days, what will you do? You will delete your WhatsApp, and when you need to reinstall, after reinstalling, when you enter your mobile number, then it will ask you to take backup of the previous messages what you have done and recover all those messages. This is called as backup and recovery. Okay, like that. Provides backup and recovery subsystem that is responsible for recovery from hardware and software failures. Just like sometimes your WhatsApp may get failures. Okay, it will not work properly. It needs to update it or reinstall. Then you need to uninstall. Then again after installing, your complete data what you have done previously will be again backup and recovery. Like this in a database management system also, that is the backup and recovery facility is available. Now come to the next thing, that is data abstraction. The students here, in data abstraction there are three levels. One is external level, another one is conceptual level, and third one is internal level. We will go from bottom to top. That is first internal level, then conceptual level, after that external level. In internal level, internal schema is there, conceptual schema is there, and the external level view 1, view 2, like view 10, many viewers, that is users, end users. Who are the end users? We are the end users. Who will use the computer system? They are the end users. Okay. Now come to the point. A major purpose of a database system. What is the major purpose? Purpose is to provide users with an abstract view of the data. Okay, the major purpose of database system is to provide an abstract view of the data to the user. Abstract means your data will be like this. It will look like this. This is called as abstract view. That is, the system has certain detail. System will have certain detail of how the data are stored and maintained. Abstract view means some features are hidden, but basically few features are shown. And there are three levels of database abstraction. That is physical level, which is also called as internal level. Next one is conceptual level, which is also called as logical level. And the third one is view level, which is also called as external level. Remember this diagram, write it as end users, then from database, starts from database, internal schema, external schema, then view 1, view 2, up to view 1, many viewers. Top on that, right, user 1, user 2, user n, many users. Okay. Then external level, conceptual level, internal level. Remember this data abstraction diagram, and now I am going to explain you all the three things, that is physical level, conceptual level, and external level, that is view level. Come to the first type now, that is internal level, which can also be called as physical level. Come to the first one. It is the lowest level of the abstraction. If you see the diagram, you can understand it is the lowest level of the abstraction. That describes how the data are actually stored. Okay, the lowest level of the abstraction is the internal level, which describes how the data can be stored in the abstraction, how the data is actually stored. And then the physical level describes complex low level data structures. It describes not the simple data structures, it describes the complex low level data structures in detail. Okay, in detail. And come to the next one. A It contains the definition of stored record. Okay, this internal level contains the definition of the stored records and method of representing the data, and the method by which data can be represented. It will store that method of representing data fields and access aid used. Access aid means whenever needed the data can be accessed. That aid is used with the internal level. And the second level, that is conceptual level, which can also be called as logical level. It is the next higher level. Yes, if you see the diagram from bottom, first is internal level, then next higher level is the conceptual level of abstraction. That describes what data are stored in the database. This conceptual level describes what data are stored in the database and what relationships exist among those data, the data which is stored in the database, how they are related to each other, and what is the relationship between those data. This can be shown and this can be given under conceptual level. Next, the last point is it also contains the method of deriving the objects. It means if in your marks card, take it as a data, or take the complete database of your college system, college software. In that system, what will happen if we want to see any of your records? Just we will enter your admission number and press enter. After that, all your detail we will get. Like that, it's a method of deriving the objects. That is how we will enter your admission number and all your details are derived easily. This is called as the method of deriving objects in the conceptual view. Okay, from the objects in the internal view. Here, method of deriving objects from conceptual view in the internal view. Yes, the objects which are stored in the internal view, okay, will be accessed or driven to the conceptual level, and that method is done under the conceptual level. Hope you have understood the concept. Now, the third and last level of abstraction is the external level, which can also be called as view. It is the highest level of the abstraction. Yes, it is the highest level of the abstraction. What is its use? That describes only the part of the entire database. For example, your college database system. Under that college database system, we will store year by year details. Okay, so this, what I say, external level is just only gives the part of database. Just like if you want the details of 2020-21, so external level just shows you the 2021. If you go under 2021, then only you can able to see. Like that, it will describe only the part of entire database. Entire database is stored in, take an example of 2020-21. The entire database is stored under 2020-21, but it will show only 2020-21. If we go under that, go through, or if we get inside 2020-21, then we can be able to access the complete database. Next, it also contains the method of deriving the objects. That is what I have said in previously under conceptual level. That is deriving data from the objects in the conceptual view. Okay, the objects which are present in the conceptual view, they can be driven or they can be derived to the external level. So this process is also included under the external view, or it can also be called as view level or the external level. This is what we have completed our data abstraction. Dear students, if you have any doubts regarding today's class, you can ask me personally. Thank you.